what is going on, guys? Welcome back to some more Apex. I hope you're having a very good day as always, and we're going to be taking a look at some general console tips in this video because many of you guys, believe it or not, don't play on PC. Like a big majority of you guys play on PS4 and Xbox One, and I've never actually done a full console tips video on my channel because I obviously play on PS4. Playing on console is very different from playing on PC, so that's why I decided to make this video today, give you guys a full rundown of the best settings to use on console and also how to get the best aim as well when playing Apex. Now I'm sure you guys have seen many like best console settings videos and stuff on YouTube. It's a big trend right now to make these kind of videos, but I also want to give you some tips, like some general tips that you could use to help you get better at this game, and more specifically to help you get better at this game on console. So if you guys are ready, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's take a look at some of my very best console tips. I'm gonna plug my Discord server real quick again, guys. If you haven't joined my Discord server as yet, what are you waiting for? It's a very fun time. I always talk to you guys over there, and it's just a much more fun place to interact with me because YouTube is kind of different in terms of like interaction. So if you guys want to talk to me more and stuff, then Discord is the place to be. Also, you should follow me on Twitter as well because I'm very active on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter, join my Discord. It's all good things, and yeah, all of those links will be below. Alright, so let's take a look at my console settings first. Now I'm going to be taking a look at the most important things in each tab. So the gameplay tab, the controller tab, the video tab, and the audio tab. But the audio tab isn't really that important, but the gameplay, controller, and video tab is. So first up, let's take a look at crosshair damage feedback. I think that you guys should always use X with shield icon because you actually get to see what level shield the enemy is using, and you also get to see your hit markers, right? And that's very important, so always use X with shield icon. I also have my damage numbers to stacking. I think it's the best one to use because it doesn't take up too much of the screen, and it's just overall for me the best setting to use when it comes to damage numbers, right? I have my weapon auto cycle on empty off, I have auto sprint off, double tap sprint is also off, and a very important one as well is incoming damage feedback. I have it as 3D. And the last thing in the gameplay tab that is very important is the taking damage closes death box menu. I have that as off because let's say you want to shoot swap real quick. As soon as you take damage, you'll be exited out of the box, and that kind of could mess up your gameplay, right? So I have that as off. It depends on how you actually play this game, but I just personally prefer to have this as off because if I want to shoot swap, it doesn't interfere with that process. So yeah. Now moving on to the controller tab. Honestly, I think that this is mostly up to personal preference, and although everyone will tell you like exactly what to use, you guys have to find what you actually personally like to use and what you're comfortable with, because not everyone's settings will be the best for everyone to use. Like you have to actually find your personal sweet spot of settings that you like to use, right? So I'm going to use my settings to guide you guys and hopefully help you find your perfect settings for console in this game. Alright, so in terms of my button layout, I actually use button puncher, and that's because I have a regular PS4 controller. I don't have a scuff or anything like that. I have a standard DualShock 4 basic PS4 controller, right? So if you guys have scuff and stuff, then you obviously would want to use different button layouts because you have more triggers and stuff. But if you guys have a regular PS4 controller or an Xbox One controller, then you should try button puncher and let me know what you actually think of that setting. My stick layout is default. Interact or reload button is tap to use, which is just kind of common sense. My crouch is actually toggle because I grew up playing so much COD and stuff that it just makes more sense for me to use toggle. It's kind of like intrinsic for me to use this, like it's kind of muscle memory at this point. But if you guys use hold, that's fine. I just personally prefer to use toggle, although if you use hold it might be easier to like bunny hop and stuff, but I just like to use toggle. Your aim button should always be on hold, and your L2 R2 button dead zones or LB RB button dead zones should always be on none. Basically what this does is it makes it take the least amount of time to actually fire a weapon, so you always want to have L2 button dead zones and stuff on none. So when it comes to look sensitivity and stuff, it's completely up to you guys and your personal preference. I recommend going into the firing range and just feeling out what you actually like to use, because if you guys use 6, I personally use 6, it might not feel as good to you. So you always want to find your perfect sweet spot and what you like to use. This is actually very important because this will affect your aim, this will affect how you play the game. It's very important to find your perfect sensitivity in Apex. My response curve is on classic. I actually try tried to use many different response curves, but to me classic just feels the best. It's the easiest to use. My look dead zone is on none and my movement dead zone is on small. Inverted look is on off. I don't think anyone actually uses inverted look because that's just kind of weird if you actually have that on. It's weird. And my vibration is off because to me vibration kind of messes up my aim if it's too much. So I prefer to leave it off on any FPS game, any multiplayer game. I choose to have it off. Now in the video tab, my brightness is actually set very high because I'm kind of blind, but you guys also need to like find your perfect sweet spot in terms of brightness as well. My field of view is 100. I think it's the best field of view to use for me, and my sprint view shake is always on minimal because that will actually mess up your aim as well if you have too much sprint view shake. And that's basically all settings that I use when I'm playing Apex on my PS4, but settings doesn't make a good player. You actually have to practice and stuff. So I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how to actually improve your aim in this game on console, because aiming is extremely important, and aiming on console versus PC is also very different because on a mouse and keyboard you have way more control than on console, right? So let's talk about how to actually improve your aim in this game. Now the very first thing that you guys should actually do to improve your aim is to understand the recoil patterns of every single gun in Apex, because every single gun will have different recoil and you have to actually know and be familiarized with how these guns perform and how these guns react when you're using them, right? For example, the R301 has basically an upwards recoil, but the flatline has side to side recoil, upwards recoil as well. Every single gun just naturally behaves differently, and you should know how to master each and every one of them because it will affect your aim as well. So every single day guys, before you even play your first game of Apex, as soon as you hop on, I want you guys to go in the firing range, and whatever guns you actually tend to use the most in this game, I want you to practice using that gun and practice understanding the recoil patterns of those guns without any barrel stabilizers, right? So the R301, the R9, use all of those guns without any barrel stabilizers and get accustomed to the recoil every single day until you feel you've perfected that gun. That's what I did. Now once you guys feel comfortable with the base weapon without any barrel stabilizers, then you can actually go on to use barrel stabilizers and test out the guns. If you guys want to see me do a full aiming course video like showing you how I actually practice in the firing range, let me know, because to me the firing range is the best place to improve your aim in this game. So practice, get accustomed to the recoil patterns, and you should be good with your aim. Now another very important tip when trying to improve your aim on console is to find your perfect sensitivity in this game. Everyone will have a different sensitivity they like to use, so you need to find what you like to use, you know, what you're comfortable with, and that just takes practice and practice. Like, keep playing the game because eventually you will find what you're good with, and once you find that, improving your aim will be much easier as well. So find your perfect sensitivity, practice with the guns you like to use, understand the recoil patterns, and your aim should slowly but surely develop into being god tier aim. Thanks so much for watching this video guys. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and tell me if I actually helped you in any form in this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in some more Apex. Till next time.